Hello YouTube. I have what appears to be a Newegg box, but no, all that's crossed out. No, I got something in the mail today for a trade negotiation. I know, I make it sound so professional, don't I? Let's unbox this. Newegg packing materials, of course. Standard fare. Leaky paper. That's better. I have standard Dell laptop power adapters. 2 of them. Wow, this box does not have a lot of packing in it at all. Really hope it didn't crack a hinge. Just hoping. What happened is the box is a little beat up, so I'm just making sure that it didn't crack a hinge or something. It appears to be okay, actually. But yes, I just received a laptop in the mail. Norma Jean. I don't know who that is. But yes, this was a friend named Joe's laptop. We decided to trade laptops. He's giving me this Inspiron for the Asus EPC 1000HE, which I think is a fairly even trade. Because both are, I'd say both are about as powerful, but the EPC has hyper-threading, so it's a little bit more powerful than this thing is. But yes, this is a Dell Inspiron 6000. It has Intel Mobile Centrio technology. So, basically it's a pentium N. So, it originally came with Windows XP Media Center Edition. Really? Media Center Edition? Nice. And it's kind of unexpected. Let's take a look at the battery, see who makes the battery. Actually, let's move this laptop somewhere where you can see it better. Alright, move it onto this chair here. And here we are. This is a Dell Inspiron. The keyboard has... Let me take the camera off of the tripod. I'll just bring it up close here. You can see the keyboard is very worn because it was used. See all the shiny spots on there? I could buy a new keyboard for it off eBay, but if the keyboard still works, what's the point? The palm rest is worn, obviously because it was used. So is the left click button. These buttons feel nice though, nice and light touch. This is a perfect example of why laptop manufacturers should not use silver paint on their cases, because this sort of wear happens and it looks hideous. But myself, I don't really care. I mean, whatever. If the laptop works, I don't care. There's obviously there used to be a sticker here. Looks to be in great condition though. I don't see any cracks on the screen or anything. It looks great. Here's what the top of the laptop looks like. Well, let's take a look at the bottom. I'm going to cover up the media. Let me cover up the media center key with something like my finger. But yes, this is the bottom here. Under the sticker is the memory door, I think. That sticker's a little worn. There's the battery. Let's take a look at the battery. See what kind of battery's in this thing. Alright, so this is a Dell battery. It's a 35 watt-hour battery. Oh, there you have it. It was made in Japan though, so it's not it's not a bomb like some of the Chinese batteries are. Take a look at the side here. This is the right side. You have a PCMCIA slot. Looks like the hard drive caddy, which is missing screws. So I need to get screws for that. That's an SD card reader. I don't think this is new enough to do SDHC or SDXC. Derp. Headphones, microphone, USB, FireWire 400 4-pin. This is back when they used to put ports on the back of laptops. Remember when they used to do that? Oh my god. You have Ethernet. I don't know if it's gigabit or not. 56K modem. Yeah, I can do NetPlay. Or whatever. I can relive AOL again. Yay. More USBs. Oh, yes, it has one of these. I have the dongle for the TV out for this thing. Let me see if I can find it. This is an example of the dongle you would use for such a thing. I don't know if this particular one will fit, but we'll find out. So I'm going to attempt to hold the laptop up with one hand and stick the adapter in and see if it fits. It does appear to fit. Excellent. This means I can. This means I have RGB video and composite video, which means I can hook this up to a TV or a projector. Ah, sweet, man, sweet. VGA, and of course power, and what looks to be a radiator for heat pipe cooling, probably from the CPU and everything. And here's the other side. You have I think that's an intake vent. That might be Kensington lock, and a DVD drive. Excellent. So I think the first thing we should do is power this up and see what's on it, just for shits and giggles. There we go. The screen looks good. The hinge is a little floppy. I've noticed that, but that's typical with Dell laptops of this era. BIOS is a little slow to start up. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, it has these media buttons on the front, which is really nice. I hope those work in Linux, because that's what I plan to use this laptop for, is probably Linux. Although I'm not sure yet. Boot manager is missing. I guess he wiped the drive. That's okay, because I'm gonna take the drive out anyway, and I'll show you guys that process. Since there's no hard drive screws currently in the machine, I can just do this. It uses a little PATA card edge adapter thing, and it is a Toshiba. How big is this drive? It's a Toshiba hard drive, I know that much. Oh, it's a 40 gigabyte hard drive. So, obviously, it's not going to hold very much. I have an 80 gigabyte drive I'm going to stick in here. And, hopefully that should be good enough. So, let me go get that drive real quick. And here's the 80 gig hard drive, all ready to go in there. This hard drive is not that old, it's from 2009. That's when I bought it. This hard drive is originally in that IBM ThinkPad A21E. Before that thing's power supply died, and then I gutted it for screws. So now this drive has seen many things. It used to be in this Roswell enclosure. This hard drive enclosure is where the Toshiba drive is going to go. So I'll probably use the Toshiba drive for just moving random files around and just, you know, in sundry tasks and things like that. I mean, even a 40 gig drive is useful for moving bits of information around. But an 80 gig drive is dead useful in a laptop, so that'll go straight back in there. I gotta get screws for this. I gotta get screws for the hard drive caddy. If anybody knows what size screw that is for those hard drive caddies, please let me know. I would definitely like to get some at some point. So the 80 gig drive has been installed. So let's boot Linux up on this thing and check out what the specs are of this machine. Let's see, I have my Sardu USB key on here, which has a couple of flavors of Linux and some live XP stuff on it, so let's stick it in a USB port and boot her up, shall we? Pain in the ass to do this with one hand. There we go. Again, this hinge is kind of floppy. So let's see if it works like the other Dells I've worked on. I just hit F12 for a one-time boot menu. It doesn't appear to boot from USB. This thing is old. Okay, I'm gonna go get an actual disk, BRB. Okay, I have the Ubuntu 10.04 disk here, and we will stick this in there and start it up. Okay. So, get the dongle out of the way. Oh yeah, it's on the other side. That's a little disorienting with certain Dell laptops. They put the DVD drive on the other side, so it confuses you a little bit. Hit the F12 key right there. And move the camera up. That's better. This tripod drives me crazy. Nothing's ever straight when using it, but here we go. As you can see, this thing doesn't boot from USBs, we found that earlier, but it does boot from card bus, network interface card, which means you could have a, let's say a card bus LAN card or a card bus Wi-Fi card. You could do Pixie booting from there, and that's pretty cool. So we're going to boot from the DVD drive. So here we go. I don't know what's going on here, but there we go. This thing's a little finicky, it seems. At least the enter key is. English, of course. The enter key on this keyboard's an asshole. I'm gonna have to buy a new keyboard for this thing, no question about it. There you are now. You have to really bash that enter key hard to get it to do anything. That's Dell for you with their crappy keyboards. That's fine though. I'll buy another keyboard for it. They're plentiful on eBay. My only complaint about this machine so far is the keyboard is crap because it's worn and been used. But I can buy a new keyboard for this, that's not a big deal. And that I can't boot from USB, but that's just because of the age of the machine. That has nothing to do with feature set or anything. Other than that, it seems like this will be a pretty good machine. It just needs a new keyboard, and I'll be happy with it. Alright, we're at the Ubuntu screen right here. It needs to be a little bright for the camera, but let's go to Disk Utility just to check the hard drive that I put in there. And it says the disk is healthy. Excellent. No bad sectors. It's a fairly young drive. I haven't given it a whole lot of use. So, there you have it. Let's go to System Monitor here. CPU is non-hyperthreading. There's 2 gigabytes of RAM in here. But let's show you the system specs of this machine. Alright. The heart of the machine is this processor. It is a Pentium M 1.6 gigahertz, and the Pentium M is basically a Pentium 3. At least the Pentium M was based off the Pentium 3, and the Pentium 3 was an amazing chip. The Pentium 4 was a terrible chip, so that's actually a good thing. That's what Intel Centrino was back in the day. It was basically a Pentium M processor. They just named it something fancy and nice. So let's see what kind of chipsets are in this computer. Let's go to the terminal here. Hopefully the rest of the keyboard works just fine. LSPCI. LSPCI. That enter key you have to really hit hard, so I'm going to think about getting it on. LSPCI. There we go. Damn, I hate that enter key so much. Okay, so this has a Intel Mobile 915 chipset. It's an ICH6 based chipset. let's see what else is in here. It has an ATI Mobility Radeon X300. Broadcom Ethernet. A Ryco card reader and FireWire controller. And the wireless is a Intel Pro 2200 BG Coaxio 2. So this thing has built-in wireless as well. Seems like an excellent machine other than this stupid keyboard. So hopefully I'll get a new keyboard for this. Let's see how much battery it has left. It has an hour and 15 minutes of its battery left. And the wireless does work out of the box. So very nice. At least in Linux it does. I'm going to try Windows on here and then try Linux. It'll all depend. But damn you, Enter key. But yes, this looks like a pretty useful machine to me. Despite its age, it'll be quite useful to me. It'll be more useful than a netbook will be, because I already have another netbook. So. And there you have it. There is the Dell Inspiron 6000. Joe, thank you so much for agreeing to this trade. This machine will definitely be quite useful to me. And hopefully the netbook will be useful to you as well. And there might be more on this machine later, but this is just my first impressions and unboxing and everything of it, so there may be future videos involving this machine. I don't know yet, but that is it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good one, everybody. Ciao.